Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we are going to look at Clyde May's Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now, I have a few bones to pick with this here. So this is a 375, which rang in at $18.59 at the cheaper liquor store here in town. So that's going to put this near, the upper 30s, low 40s for a 750. And that's I just got so much bourbon already. I don't know how many bottles of bourbon I got. I probably have 60 bottles of bourbon, $50 50, 60, 70 bottles, something like that, of just bourbon, and another 20 bottles of rye. And no, that's a lie. I probably have 100 bottles of bourbon. I got 2 full shelves of bourbon. So starting to try and find some of the smaller bottles on stuff that I'm taking a chance on. Number one, it's cheaper. Number two, it's just I don't need any more bourbon. I got so much already. I only have like 3 bottles in my entire collection that I'm not particularly a fan of. But even with that, one more bottle is too many when it comes to full-size bottles. However, I got a couple issues with this. So number one, it's 92 proof, so 46% ABV. Clyde May is a moonshiner, or so the label says, from Alabama. And talks about the Alabama spirits and stuff. The dude got caught moonshining, ended up in the pen. So this release is to honor Clyde May. Now, transparency, because it's required on the label, it does say bottled or distilled in Kentucky. Okay, so right away there, so you're talking about an Alabama guy, but now we're doing some Kentucky distilling, and I don't know which distillery this is out of. I didn't research any of that. Bottled by Conecuh Ridge Distillery in Auburndale, Florida. So there you go. So it's distilled in Kentucky. This distillery, the bottler, is in Florida, and they're talking about a dude who has a heritage or its roots in Alabama. I don't know. Anything to sell a bottle, right? So that's the backstory, and every whiskey has a backstory, right? I don't know. It's all marketing and crap. What's really more interesting to me is what's in the bottle. So we're going to get into this. Yet another whiskey, another bourbon. And you know what? I bit into it, right? So I paid, for a 92 proof whiskey, I paid $18 and what did I just say? $18.59 for this 375. I got so many other whiskeys that I already know I love for under $25. But because this is a whiskey exploration channel, we got another one to try here. On the nose is a little ethanol-y, bright apple and cherry fruit, but mostly ethanol. A little honey. I mean, it's bourbon, right? So this is straight down home plate bourbon. Nothing out of the norm when it comes to the nose on the flavor profile. It is run-of-the-mill. Sorry, not run-of-the-mill. Sorry, this review's a little depressing. It's just right down the middle, another bourbon. It's a familiar flavor. It starts with a little bit of an ethanol ding, moves into a slight watery thinness for 1 second, picks up with like a sweet hard candy, cherry, and finishes with a touch of oak and cherry. Nothing to write home about, nothing special about this bottling. It's just, it's good, down home, regular bourbon with a bunch of fancy language written on it trying to get you to buy it and marketing, and you know, it's something you've seen 100 times. So sorry that this happened to be the bottle that I'm shitting all over on this particular video, but it's just bourbon. Nothing wrong with it, nothing special about it. Is it worth the price? Nope, because there's 100 varieties of bourbon that you can get with the exact same flavor profile as this bourbon for $10 less. So I don't think it's worth it. Is it good? Yes. I just got nothing interesting to say about it, and so I'm kind of done dragging on about this. It's just a quick, easy bourbon, simple nose profile. I mean, it kind of leans Buffalo Trace. It kind of leans Barton 1792. It's got all those same familiar notes. It's of that style of distillery. It doesn't have the cherry that in the same way that Wild Turkey does, or Evan Williams, or the heft that the Brown-Forman stuff does. Now, it might be a Brown-Forman product, I don't know, but if I had to guess, this is more of a Barton Buffalo Trace 1792 type profile. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. So if you're a fan of those, you might want to check this out. It might be a little bit more available if those particular whiskeys are unavailable in your area and you're a fan of them. Maybe check this out if it is available. It'll be very similar. But there's just nothing here to write home about. And finally, does it have an age statement on it? It does have a batch number. It's written in some kind of sloppy cursive that I can't really read so great. And I do not see an age statement on the bottle. Therefore, if it's an NAS, it has to be, well, even here it says Conecuh Ridge Distillery, Alabama, USA, even though it says right here it's bottled in Auburndale, Florida. So there's all kinds of goofy stuff with this particular thing, even though it says right here on this, their slogan is say what you be and be what you say. That's kind of funny. I don't see an age statement on here anywhere, so it has to be at least 4 years old. It looks to me like somebody's trying to make money is really all this whiskey is, which, you know, there's a place for that too. I'm just not the person that values that or has anything super amazing to say about it. It's good bourbon. That's all it is. So there you go. Drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of Clyde May for in your area. There are a couple varieties out on the shelf. This one's the straight bourbon. I don't remember what the other one was. It might be an American whiskey or something like that. There's nothing, you know, out of the ordinary. Like I said, $18.59 for a 375. So it puts it in that, you know, $35, $40 category for a 750. That's all I got. If you got anything else, drop in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. And stay tuned for the next video, because we're going to revisit Knob Creek now that they got their age statement back. And we'll see what that has to offer us, if anything different and new. So there you go. Thanks for watching. As always, I do greatly appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button and share this out with anybody that you think might get a little bit of utility out of it. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Check out Life and Whiskey on YouTube. Sorry, beside myself right now. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, check us out on Bitchute and Rumble. And my Minds account, who knows what's going on with that. So there you go. Thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Sorry this one was such a disaster.